original document. Let's get started.
Great. All right. Thanks, Bill, and thanks for having me this morning. Thanks also, everyone, for joining. Appreciate you making the time. Just the format of this will be I'll go through some content about eero, the product, and we'll take it from there. So first, we'll start with a brief video here.
But for the next one, I want to pivot. Oh, why?
Is the Wi-Fi out again?
We should try moving the router. So good to see you again. Yeah. The yard, the yard's taken a lot of work. I'm going to show you how to extend the Wi-Fi. Slide it on your wireless router, and you're good to go. 1,000%. Give it a sec.
You have problems.
Let's do this. Sweet. This is eero. It's not a router. It's a Wi-Fi system. You place eeros throughout your home to create a wireless mesh network that blankets every room in fast, reliable Wi-Fi.
Already in your inbox. Done.
Finally, Wi-Fi that works.
So the idea here being that Wi-Fi can be a really frustrating experience when it doesn't work, and I think people have a pretty short fuse for when it breaks between when it needs to get fixed. So at eero, we're making a solution that's really reinventing Wi-Fi. So just to introduce myself, I'm Kelly Neary. I've been at eero for about a year now, and I look after our pro business. And so, I'm really dedicated to just all things just distribution, dealers, integrators, and creating a program here. So we've been in distribution now for a little bit over a few quarters, and we have some great learnings. AllNet's been a wonderful partner for us. And I think what's been so unique about our relationship with AllNet is we have lots of cool new things that we want to try, and so AllNet's always giving us direct feedback from dealers, giving us really honest feedback about what we're doing okay and what we should be doing a little bit better. And so I think with this partnership, we've really been able to improve our offering for professionals.
Hey, Kelly, can I interrupt you for a second? Your
Sure.
audio is very choppy, so I don't know if there's a way to improve it. It sounds like getting a lot of echo.
Let's see. I'll move the microphone. Is this a little bit better?
It's still cutting in and out pretty bad.
Okay, I can also try calling back on my mobile phone.
It sounds better now, so maybe it's improved here.
Okay. I'll speak slowly. So agenda for today, we'll go briefly through why we made it, Wi-Fi in the modern home. We'll do a setup and technical overview. We'll talk about the eero Pro program and Pro exclusive features, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. But that said, if there's questions as we go along here, feel free to interject. So why we made it. We know some of you are probably installing Wi-Fi products today that work just fine, and our goal is to find cases for you when eero would be a great solution. We know that it's not always possible, or the customer's budget doesn't allow you to have a really expensive solution. Eero would be a great solution for those jobs where the customer simply needs Wi-Fi to power their connected home, but doesn't want to spend a ton of money on the package. eero is also great for situations where maybe you don't have a lot of time to configure a controller. An entire eero network can be set up in about 15 minutes end to end. and it really gives you great whole home coverage. So in areas where there might be some dead zones, or let's say the customer needs some Wi-Fi to the periphery of their home because they have connected cameras, Wi-Fi is a great, reliable solution for covering the home with Wi-Fi everywhere. And because it's modular, meaning you can add pieces to the network even after it's been set up, it really is future-proof. So as the family's needs change and their Wi-Fi needs change, you're able to adjust the size of the eero network accordingly. So homes need great Wi-Fi. About 10 years ago, when the home wasn't as connected, you could probably get away with having a one router model, meaning putting one router in the family office, and that's really the only place that Wi-Fi was going to be used. But today, there's connected everything: connected doorbells, connected lights, security cameras, thermostats, and all these things really need Wi-Fi in order to work well. And so eero is delivering on that whole home message, the notion that you don't just need one router to power your home, you really need multiple access points throughout the home. And with eero, you have the ability to place them as needed for that individual home. Here's some of the brands that you might be familiar with: Lutron, Control4, Savant, Crestron. You might be installing those today, and guess what? All those need Wi-Fi to work too. And so if you're doing any of these brands today, eero can be a great bundled add-on to whatever connected products you're selling. Maybe you're putting in a Sonos system, or maybe you're putting in a Ring doorbell. It's a great offering for that customer to also ensure their network is reliable by putting in Wi-Fi at the same time. You know, a lot of times I'll hear from dealers that they get callbacks for Wi-Fi related connectivity. The customer might not know it's related to Wi-Fi. They just might say, my connected whatever it is isn't working. But you know that Wi-Fi is really the backbone powering all this, and so that you'll need to get that right for all those connected devices to work better. And the truth of it is current Wi-Fi offerings haven't kept up. They're out of range. If you only have one router, it's really only going to deliver performance to that one area that it's situated in. A clumsy setup experience with lots of complicated software updates and security updates and advanced settings. Traditional Wi-Fi offerings haven't been that straightforward. And simply an ugly design. You know, if you take a look at eero, it's definitely sleeker than current offerings, and that's because design is a very central part to what we're doing. Actually, the name of our company, eero, was named after a Finnish designer, Eero Saarinen. He's actually the designer of the St. Louis Arch, the TWA building, and so design is going to continue to be a very important part of what we do at eero. So enter eero. Here's our new approach. We believe in this whole home system, multiple access points, something that keeps getting better over time. eero has a custom-built in-house cloud controller, and so as eero has software updates, which could be new features, better security, performance enhancements, all customers automatically get those, and those are pushed over the air. So much in the same way that your phones have software updates, and you're not having to buy a new phone every time there's a new feature, same with eero, it keeps getting better. So your customer isn't having to buy a new piece of hardware every 2 years. Design, as mentioned, eero looks different than traditional offerings, which is very deliberate, and the mobile app. So the entire setup is done over the mobile app. There's screens that guide you in the placement, that give you visibility into connectivity strength, and just in general, the mobile app, customers are saying, is one of their favorite things about eero. So as an integrator, you'll love that it helps with a really quick setup experience, and then I think your homeowners will like some of the features that it delivers. So in the app experience, there's the ability for things like pausing the internet. So let's say it's dinner time and the customer wants to turn off Wi-Fi to certain devices of their kids at dinner time, they can simply just go in the app and pause those devices. Or with the click of a button in the app, invite guests to a user network, which creates a separate SSID and a separate password just for guests to enter on. So we'll get into a little bit more of the features in a few, but I think the mobile app is a clear differentiator of eero. So we believe that the only way to really fix this broken Wi-Fi paradigm was really to rebuild it. So at eero, we're a team of about 130 people based in San Francisco, and all we're doing is working on Wi-Fi. We are all dedicated to making Wi-Fi better. We've created proprietary routing algorithms and a custom mesh network. And so the mesh is really the secret sauce of eero. Since we launched last year, there's been a lot of chatter and a lot of other companies coming out with mesh-like products. They don't have a true mesh. And what mesh allows you to do is for client devices to connect more quickly and most efficiently to the network. So there's not roaming, there's not stickiness of client devices. The mesh will identify the best path for client device traffic and route in the background seamlessly. So that's custom built in-house. We have our proprietary operating system. We're now on version 2 of that, so that's continuing to get better and improve network connectivity speeds. And then custom hardware. So the hardware is all built in-house as well, including the radios and RF systems. And all that to say, this is in-house expertise. So we have a pretty deep team working on algorithms, hardware, software, the cloud controller. At every stage in the product, we're all incredibly dedicated to just working on a better Wi-Fi experience. And I think why that's different is kind of the incumbent players who have been in the market for a while, they don't really have the freedom to reimagine Wi-Fi. In other words, they're iterating on a current form factor or iterating on an operating experience. We believe to truly be disruptive and do this better, you had to build it from scratch, from the ground up. And here's, I think, a good overview of something to say, don't take my word for it, listen to our customers. So if you go on Amazon, we have over 2,000 reviews and a 4.5-star rating. And I think that's a really consistent way to just look across our customers and hear what they're saying. So I'd encourage you to go take a look at those reviews. And I think what's been really unique about eero is we're continuing to get a lot of press and a lot of attention from different types of media. So we'll get tech mentions from some of the tech publications like the CE Pros of the world. We'll also get great attention from the likes of Wall Street Journal, Forbes, and even lifestyle magazines. So Men's Health, Women's Weekly, Pop Sugar. There's been really, I think, a unique attention to eero in a way that routers usually don't get. I love this quote. This is from one of the reporters who covered eero, saying, if internet access is oxygen, texting eero has been like getting a new lung. And I think that really speaks to the point that our lives are so connected these days, people just don't have the patience for Wi-Fi that doesn't work. So really there's kind of 2 parts here. There's the customer-facing features, and then there's the integrator-facing features. And so customers love eero because simply it just works. And they also love the features like guest access, family profiles, and robust security. Since launching, eero has had no security breaches, no compromised networks, and in the age when we're constantly hearing about security breaches and data getting into the wrong hands, this is really important for us. And so we're going to continue spending a lot of time thinking about the security of networks. And for dealers, it's really quick to install. When your time is money, the time you spend configuring a network is time you can spend doing other things in the home. So this is really a quick solution, and our dealers aren't getting called back for service visits related to the network. So here's what eero looks like. So it comes in a 3-pack, a 2-pack, and a 1-pack. Because all 3 pieces of hardware are exactly identical, we recommend to dealers that they buy the 3-pack. Let's say you only end up using 2 eeros for a job. That extra eero can then be used at another job. So it's very plug and play. You'll also get the best price on the 3-pack, which we'll go into in a bit. In the box comes the eero hardware, and then power plugs, and then the Ethernet cable. So really we believe tomorrow's central nervous system of the home is the internet, is the Wi-Fi. We intend to not just be a Wi-Fi company, but to really integrate connectivity into part of the everyday lives of customers' homes. Now we'll get into a bit of the setup and technical overview. So I like this chart because it really delineates the clear differences between traditional routers, routers plus range extenders, and eero, which is a Wi-Fi system. So traditional routers, the further you go away from that router, the less good your connectivity becomes and the more weak that signal strength is. So if you go down to the next model, which is a router plus a range extender, an extender will give you that distance. It'll increase the distance of your connectivity, but it will essentially cut that speed in half. And so really your experience at about, let's say, 80 to 90 feet away is not the same as your experience at the router. And that's where eero is different, is because as eero connects through different nodes of the network, that speed stays the same. And that's because the eeros are all meshing together, determining the best route for your connected devices. And the speed at one eero will be the same 40 feet away as it is 80 feet away at the other eero. And so by creating a mesh network, the speed of the internet is the same as it is at distance, as it is next to the modem. And I think here's a good diagram showing what mesh really is. So in other whole home solutions, if you look at that orange diagram, the top left one, let's consider that one to be the gateway, which is wired into the modem, and the other three to be the nodes around the home. So in a traditional model, any of the nodes have to check in with the gateway. Those nodes can't talk to each other. In eero, which is a whole home mesh solution, any of those nodes can talk to each other. So let's say the blue diagram, the top left one is your gateway, which is connected to the modem. That one can talk to the one in the bottom left, but the bottom left can also talk to the one in the bottom right. And so this is really what delivers the highest performance of connectivity. And again, this is all proprietary, built in-house, and this mesh network is the secret sauce behind eero. So now we'll look at a brief app setup. So when you're setting up a network, this is the first slide that you would see. And then the next slide in the setup will be this, saying unplug the modem in existing router. After that, you'll be instructed to connect eero to the modem. And again, you'll use that Ethernet cable that's provided in the box. Then you'll plug in eero and plug in the modem. And so eero needs to be powered via a wall socket, so you'll just simply plug that in. And then you create your network. So if you give the same SSID and password to your eero network, as was the previous existing network, your eeros will automatically connect to all the other connected devices on the network. So we say, when possible, give your network the same SSID, and it'll just make for a really quick setup experience. And then you pick a room, so you essentially name the eero. We've given you a suggested menu, but you can also have a free-form field and name the room whatever you'd like. And then your eero is connected. So that's really it. You know, in a series of about 3 minutes, you can connect one eero, and then if you have more eeros around the home, the app guides you through placement and connectivity. So really end-to-end designed to be a super quick experience. And here's a visual representation of what that setup looks like. So you have your 3 eeros. We've labeled one start, but in reality, the hardware is all the same and you can start wherever you want. Connect the first eero into the modem, plug it into power. When you see that blinking white LED, you'll know that it's connecting. Your app will tell you it's up and running, and then you simply plug in the other eeros around the home. And just like that, you have an eero network. So the indicator lights are very helpful in letting you know what eero is doing. There's different indicators for when it's setting up, when it's connected, when they're offline. And a new feature is you're now able to dim and turn off those LED lights. So let's say there's one in the bedroom and the customer doesn't want to have it blinking all night long, you can go into the app and turn off the LED lights as well. So here's the product overview. It's dual band encrypted Wi-Fi. It operates on a single SSID with default WPA2 security. And so a little bit more about that single SSID. So it communicates over 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, switching dynamically. So it is dual band capable, and eero will pick the best route depending on the connected devices on the network. It supports 802.11a, b, g, n, and AC. Gigabit Ethernet, supports iOS and Android devices, so you do need an iOS or an Android device for setup, and that's set up over Bluetooth. A secure guest network, and so this guest network creates a separate SSID than the master network name, and this is so that your guests can access the network but don't have any freedom to change any of the settings on the network. Automatic updates happen without user intervention. You don't have to force an update. As eero has them available, they're pushed over the air to customers. I think our update time is around 3 a.m. local time for wherever that device is, and that's just meant to really happen seamlessly in the background. And then also in the box is a 12-volt power adapter and an Ethernet cable. Here's a look at under the hood, what's inside the eero. I'll let you guys take a look at that for a little bit. Again, various Bluetooth radios, Wi-Fi radios, Ethernet switch ports. We have 2 of those, and then the tricolor LEDs. So we do have a Qualcomm processor, but that's not an off-the-shelf chip. This is actually a custom-built chip that eero has made. And so because it's a custom chip, we alone have power to update it at our discretion. In other words, we're not waiting for an outside manufacturer to update their chip in order for eero to get better. We have the power to do that ourselves internally. So the cloud data expertise keeps getting better with eero. It has constant contact, meaning all the eeros are constantly heart beating and checking in with the cloud for updates, for security updates. We operate on Amazon Web Services infrastructure with more than 2 terabytes a day and 4 billion API requests per week being pushed up into the cloud. Automatic updates, actually this number has increased. We now have over 20 releases since launch and no security vulnerabilities out in the field. Each eero network learns and adjusts to perform against its local environment. So let's say you have an eero that's maybe too far away from the rest of the eeros, meaning the connectivity is weak. So even though that eero is as close, might be the closest path for a connected device, if that eero doesn't have the strongest connectivity, that connected device will choose to check in with a different eero. Even though it's farther away, eeros will find the quickest path for connected devices. So let's now talk about the eero Pro program. So we've created this program just for pros and has, I think, 4 core benefits. So VIP support is what we hear from our dealers as being a kind of the most awesome feature of this program. In the age where some manufacturers don't have phone support or you're outsourced to an offshore call center support agent, the eero support is all in-house. We have agents based in Austin, Texas, and we have a dedicated number for dealers to call when they're in the field. This number is different than what customers call. This is just for pros. And so you'll be transferred to a technical agent, and your call will cut the call queue, delivering you as quick as possible to someone who can answer your question. So I'm super proud of this dedicated support, and I always kind of brag about it. So the other week, I just thought I'd call the number myself and see if they're truly as awesome as I say they are. From the time I picked up my phone to dial their number, I was on the phone with an agent within 17 seconds. So truly, this is a great number to just write down and keep. Those guys over there are great. So eero also helps to decrease return rates and callbacks from existing products. So because you're installing a lot of connected items in the home, once you get the Wi-Fi right, I suspect a lot of your Wi-Fi related truck rolls will just decrease. We have discounted pricing structure from distribution, and so we can talk about what that pricing is, but you're buying eero at the best discount in the marketplace, which allows you to make some money on the sale of the product. And we have an accommodation program. So if you sign up to become an eero dealer, you're getting a discount on a 3-pack for your own home. Today that offering is $200 off. So if you register to become a dealer at pro.eero.com, we'll approve you within the same day, and you'll get a coupon to try out eero in your own home. And really, I think this is the best way to see if eero is right for you. I say try it in your home. Once you have it up and installed, you'll love the setup, you'll love the performance, and then from there you can decide if it's right to start speccing into your jobs. So here's a look at that sign up page. Once you head over to pro.eero.com, just click the sign up now button and you'll be guided through the registration process. The process really takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We ask you for your contact details and basic signing of an agreement, which says things like you won't sell online, you won't sell internationally, pretty basic stuff there. We collect your contact information so we can turn on special features for you as dealers. So once we know your mobile number and your email address, we can give you features on your app, which we don't expose to end customers. And we'll take a look at what those features are. Also, by giving us your contact details, we can put you in a dealer finder. So very soon we have launching a dealer finder where customers can come to our website, find a local dealer in their area, and then contact you directly to sell them and install the product. So our Pro exclusive feature. So in the early days of engaging in our partnership with AllNet, we heard very quickly from the team that the dealers need the ability to set up a network on their mobile device and then transfer it to the homeowner. You know, the point there being a lot of times your homeowners aren't home when you're doing the setup. So within 2 months of hearing that feedback from AllNet, we really created this Pro-only feature. And this allows you to do just that, which is set up the network on your phone, and then once it's up and running, give it to the homeowner so they can use customer-facing features. So again, to navigate there, you have to be a registered eero dealer. Once we know your mobile number, we'll expose the bottom Pro Transfer Network feature to you. And to get this feature, you download the exact same app as customers. So it's in the iOS store. And from there, you'll set up the network, open up the admin page, click on the Switch Network button. Then you go to Add Network, that third slide there. And then on the fourth view, Start Network Setup. So once that network is set up, you'll go to Transfer Network. I'm looking at that second view right there. And then once you click on Transfer Network, you'll be asked the customer's name, their mobile number, and the email address. So really double check that you get these right. This is the part that sends the network to the customer. So once you transfer it to a customer, they'll get an email and a text message saying that the network is ready for them to pick up, and then that will give them access to use family profiles, guest access, and all those other app features. So before you transfer, it'll say, "Are you sure?" And then once you click Done, then the network has officially been transferred. So just to wrap up here, why eero? There's really some core benefits to eero. It's whole home coverage. For really those hard to reach places, you can install an eero in those rooms and it will really deliver you Wi-Fi everywhere. To the periphery of your home, to the backyard, to the garage. Eero is entirely modular, so you pick the type of connectivity you want. We generally say 1 eero per 1,000 square feet of the home, and to place them about 40 feet apart. It's going to be highly variable on the customer's construction of the home, the layout, the floor plan, how many connected devices they have, but as a general rule, 1 per 1,000 square feet will usually do the trick. Eero is super simple. So we've spent a lot of time making the setup and the use process really transparent and really clear to customers. It stays new. Automatic software updates from the cloud are pushed to every customer, so they're constantly getting new features, performance updates, and security features. And it simply just makes all the other devices in the network work better. So in the age of the modern home, we really believe this whole home Wi-Fi approach is the way to go. and it really contributes to a seamless working connected home. So that's it as far as my content today. Would love to hear questions from you or hear from dealers who are installing it and what your customers are saying.
Thanks, Kelly. There's a few questions that have come through here, so I'll just read them off, and
Okay.
then we'll start taking some others. So I have some clients in rural areas where cell signal coverage is almost zero. Is there another way to set up the eero system in these cases?
Yeah, so for doing that, if you contact our VIP support, they can help you do it. They have an admin panel where they can walk you through setup. I'm trying to put that number back on the screen here, and I'm failing at the moment. So give our VIP desk a call. So that number is 866-754-7286.
Okay. Can the customer have different network sites, like a home, a summer home, an office?
Yes, exactly. So there can be different networks connected to one account. And so with eero, you can kind of scroll through your different networks and then see advanced settings for each network. So we definitely have people who have summer homes, winter homes, main residence.
Okay, great. How do you factory reset an eero device?
All right, so we'll go back here to the hardware. If you look in the top right-hand corner, that small little pinhole on the right side of the eero, just insert a paper clip into there, and that'll be a factory reset. Alternatively, our support team can do it as well if you give them a call.
Okay. Questions are coming in fast and furious here on the second. Does the primary unit take the place of the current router, or can it maintain its current router and set the eero to be bridged?
So we definitely recommend using the eero as the router. Eero is a router. We call it, the whole home Wi-Fi system. That's the bare bones of it. It's just a router. So when you can, we ask that you replace the existing router with an eero. Now, if you have a customer who has a modem router combo, you'd obviously need to leave that modem router in there and then plug eero in. So you can bridge the eeros. If you bridge them, you'll lose the ability to do family profiles, which means you won't be able to pause the internet for certain connected devices.
Okay. There's a question about eero dealer prices. We can get those prices to you as soon as we have you registered.